Nou, oké. Probeer op de stoel rechtop te zitten. Zo, Christina, hey, hey. Nice for you to also join us late, but still. We're gonna start class now. Important, before we start, get yourself a chair. It's gonna be a relatively easy class. A little a little Christmas gift for everybody. So other people might share in with us on this yoga class as well. Before we go on, I'm splitting the class up in two pieces as I only have a free account on Zoom that gives you 40 minutes. We cannot do a full hour and a half in one go. So I'll be splitting it up in two parts. We'll start now, get going. Once it gives me the warning that it's almost time, we'll switch then to the other one and continue there. Shouldn't be much of a problem, but there will then be two parts. I'll probably be able to edit them together into one video. We'll see if that works out or not. Anyway, have a seat, whether on a chair or on the floor. If you're sitting on the floor on your yoga mat, have a chair, a stable chair nearby. Okay. Now, nice and straight in the spine. I will actually get my jumper off as well. It's warm enough. And close your eyes. Try to really position the sits bones straight down. Don't flop back on your glutes. Nice and upright. Rise up through your spine, through the back of your neck, and then just drop your chin ever so slightly. Now, with the eyes closed, just start to focus on your breathing. Allowing the abdomen to expand on the inhale. And when you exhale, pull your belly button in all the way. Pulling it right back down to your spine to squeeze every little bit of breath out. Inhale, release your spine, your abdomen. Exhale, squeeze it in. Just do a few full breaths, fully in and fully out. Fully in. Fully out. After the next inhale, we will open the class with 3 times Aum. Okay, gently open the eyes. Now, as discussed last week already, we're doing a work for the hips again. So that's really what we're going to be starting with. Just allow some movement, whether you're sitting on the chair or sitting on the floor. It doesn't really matter just now. Feet little bit more than hip width apart, and just in and out, and in and out, butterflying a little bit. Try to pull them as much in and as close together as possible, and then drop them all the way out, let them bounce, back in, bounce, back in. So that would be for sitting on the floor. If you're having a chair there, it's pretty similar. I have to do it with these long trousers on, but feet more or less hip wide, out and in, out and in. I'm headless Nick, or nearly headless Nick. I can just move the screen a little bit higher up, still not. Oops, there we are. So, opening up and back in. Opening up, back in. Now you find maybe, especially if there are some arthritic issues in the hip, that when you bring the knees inward, it might pinch a little bit here in the groin area. So do that gently. If it hurts, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. You just should bring it into the knees together, you know, a bit gently. Opening up, closing together. Opening up and together. So you have to sit quite nicely in the edge of a chair for this, or the floor. It doesn't really matter that much, but if you're using a chair, sit quite on the edge so you can allow the knees to fall apart and they come back together. Place the feet a little bit wider if it wasn't painful in the groin. If it was, then just leave them as it is, okay? Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put a little bit more effort into it. Hands on the outside of the knees. Squeeze the knees together while keeping the feet wide apart. And then lean a little bit forward with the pelvis. That sort of locks everything together in the hip joint. Might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it will stretch the hip joints in this interior rotation, which tends to be the direction we lose quickly, or quickest of them all. And then the opposite, we push them out. And you can use your elbows or your forearms to press the knees apart. The feet are on the outer edges, and we're just pushing out, trying to create a little bit extra space. Okay. Back inward again. Feet tilt on their inner edge. Squeeze the knees together. And yeah, try to get an angle, almost like a pyramid between the feet and the knees. Lean a little forward, closing that gap. Trying to tilt the pelvis forwards here. Okay, slowly back up. And again, outward. Press them apart. Make your pelvis part of this. Rotate the pelvis forward again. Really try to go deep with the body forward. Yeah? Okay, slowly back up. And we're going to make the movement a little bit bigger. Let's see, I'll create a bit more space, get a bit more into the picture. So feet, yeah, relatively wide, maybe a 45-degree angle in both directions, 90-degree between the two. We're going to bring the arms up, inhale. Try to reach all the way up, lift the chest up, even arch a little bit in your back. And then slowly forwards, straight back initially, until you start to curve naturally. The hands can go down on the ground or wherever you can reach. And then slowly down, drop your shoulders, drop the head, just loosen up. Try to get your shoulders in between your knees. Few seconds here, then a big inhale. And then we come to straight position again. And then we repeat it a few more times. So, arms up on the inhale. Try to really reach back with the arms. Keep the elbows nice and straight. Try to arch back ever so slightly. On the exhale, push forward. Try to reach forward first of all, tilting your pelvis forward. And then slowly down, 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 down. Round off. Inhale up. Okay, one more time. Arms up on the inhale. Exhale forwards as far as you can reach. Try to reach out and then down. Okay, inhale up. And we're back straight. So, okay. Now then, let's see. Again, whether you're sitting on the floor or on a chair, both are possible. I'm going to straighten one leg out a little bit. And then place the other foot over that knee. Pull your foot a little bit in. So you can do this leaning a little bit back on the floor. Allow this knee to just release a little bit. There you go, Mark. Yeah. Give this a little bit of time to sort of adjust. And again, important here is the positioning of the pelvis. If I turn a bit sideways, if you roll back, there's not going to be any tension on that glute. So you want to sit up as straight as possible, tilting the pelvis forward. Yeah, the moment you tilt your pelvis forward, you probably start to notice it here on the outside of the hip. Yeah. A little bit of a stretch, good. Now, same thing as before, lift the arms up. Reach a little bit forward. You're going to feed it probably quite quickly. That's it. No more. Just hold it here. Just lean a little forward until you feel that stretch on the outside of the glute there. Inhale and up. Arms down. without hitting any balls in the Christmas tree. And relax. Give it a moment. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Now, good chance that one side is a bit different from the other. This knee of mine doesn't drop half as far as the other. So again, give it a moment. Just let it get accustomed to the position. And then try to straighten up the spine. Tilt your pelvis a little bit forward. Now, once you've got that position, we do exactly the same thing. Arms up. And then a little bit with the body in that forward position. Not rounding the spine, just tilting the pelvis forward. Oh. Yep.
Rub it in.
That is it. Keep breathing. And inhale. Up. And back down. Relax the legs. Now, let's see if we can create a bit of an extension here. We'll start relatively easy. I'll sit on the very edge of the chair with one leg. The other leg points down. Yeah. So you can hold on to the back of the chair maybe to keep your balance. And the other leg, try to push it back as much as possible. I've got a sofa there. So I'm going to actually use that and place my foot on top of the sofa and then push the hip forward. And you maybe want to sort of open up. I'm going to try to fight that and try to keep the pelvis level here. Pulling back, getting that extension over the front here. Just like a lunge pose, but we're actually just sitting down. Lots of work with the abdominal muscles, tilting the pelvis back, while at the same time, glute activity to sort of push the pelvis forward. Now, if you want to, you can even finish the pose by bringing this arm up and arch a little bit back. Arm back down. Bring that leg back. I'm going to go to the other side. Oh, 1 second. Alarm went off. Let's do this side. If you're doing it standing up, if you don't want to use the chair, it's basically just a lunge pose. So you stretch the leg back as much as you can, and then try to equalize the pelvis back out. Yeah, belly button in, protecting the lower back, and trying to get that extension in the hip. The more you can straighten the leg back, the more you feel it here in the front of the groin. Bring the arm up. Lots of work here with the abdominal muscles. Lots of work there with the glute. Trying to get that pelvis into position. And slowly back. Bring the leg back in. And as a compensation, because we're arching in our back a bit, I'm going to go and do a forward fold. Just relaxing, releasing the tension in the lower back. Okay, now let's see if we can get a little bit deeper into the same pose. As before, I used the sofa there to put my foot on top to get a little bit more strain on the front of the leg. We're now going to do that with the help of the hand. If you can't reach your own ankle like this, use a strap or a belt or anything else to just grab onto the ankle. Or if you're wearing long trousers, you can also just hold the trouser leg and do it that way.
Not on a marble floor.
Yeah. Now I'm just getting a 10-minute warning from Zoom. We're going to soon have to start the other one. But we can do this on both sides. And then we'll finish this first part and get into the second one. So see if you can grab your ankle and then push the knee back. Hold on to the chair, to the back of the chair for balance. Press that knee back. Try to arch, pull that along. Create space between the buttock and the heel of the foot. Belly button in. And a proper stretch over the front of the leg there. Okay, bring the leg back in. Same on the other side. Back. Again, trying to get that distance, pulling, so you're pushing your leg back basically. With the strength of the glutes, the hamstrings, and the quadriceps, pressing the leg back, getting that extension into the hip.
No.
Yeah.
My knee won't allow me.
Okay, well, just do it with a strap or a towel. You don't have to bend the knee so far.
The pressing on the knee is too much.
But are you resting your knee on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So but this chair I'm using is too high, so I'm actually not with my knee on the floor. So okay. If you push it under your other leg, so you're a bit higher up, so the knee is not actually on the floor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, now I get it.
Then you should be able to do it, yeah?
Yeah, it's much easier.
Good, good. Okay, bring the leg back in. And again, as a compensation, because we've been arching back a little bit, do a forward fold. Release the tension out of the back. Just having a look, how many minutes are there left on this one? Still 6.5 minutes. So we can do a little bit more on this first part. So
it would allow me to get on get a charger because I'm running out of battery.
Oh yeah, I've plugged my my laptop in, so
Yeah. I need to fetch a charger.
yeah, okay. Now, in the meantime, we can start to work a little bit already on the hamstrings. We did a little bit of a stretch on the front. I'm getting the extension in. We're going to be working on the changing the chair around so you can actually see what I'm doing. Let's see. Not too close by the. I hope, by the way, the sound is good. Had some issues with this new laptop with the morning class, but the distance was a lot bigger to the computer. Now, one leg straight and just dangling downward. The other leg more or less 90 degrees in the knee. We're going to try and tilt the pelvis forward as much as we can. Yeah, so just seated on the edge of the chair, one knee bent, 90 degrees, the other leg straight. On the heel, pulling the toes towards you. This might be already enough, especially if you can just tilt your pelvis forward. What we don't want, again, is this. Not a rounded off spine. Try to get it straight. And then we just lean a little bit forward. Straight back initially. Try to get that bit of tension here in the back of the leg.
That was stringy.
Yeah. So this might be enough. You know, you just stay here. You can rest on the other leg if you want. If you want a little bit more, see if you can lie down on top of that other knee. And if even that isn't enough, you can bring the arm in between the legs and go further down even. Hold on to your foot. Put it in if you want to. Nose to the knee. And then inhale, slowly up. We'll get back to that a little bit more, give the hamstrings some time. But for the time being, change to the other leg. So, one leg straight, one leg bent. Tilt the pelvis forward. Yeah, try to keep the spine straight for the time being. Pull your toes in a little bit from your straight leg. And project the chest forward. So we stay quite high initially. We don't go straight like bending in the spine. Chest forward. Getting some tension on that straight leg. And then little by little, we can try to get closer to the bent knee. If that's okay. You can still bring the other arm on the inside of the legs and then go even further down. Slowly back up on the inhale and relax. So, welcome back to part 2. Let's see if I can make myself fit in the picture with some standing poses. We've done a lot of seated ones over here now. We're going to try a few more for the hips, and still with the chair, but standing. Let's have a look if that works. Bringing it back, bringing this one back. should just about work. First one, similar to what we just did with the extension of the hip, we're just going to place one foot on top of a chair, the other foot a little bit back, but not too much. We'll get there later on. Just try and push forward here. Go as deep as both hips allow. So on the one hand, the bent leg, the top leg here, flexes as far as we can go. On the other side, we got the extension here of the back leg. You can hold on to the backrest of the chair and just try and specifically aim at extending that leg. The heel might come off the ground. We're just trying to go as deep as possible here. Now, from here, push back. The pelvis back, round the spine off a bit. Don't need to have the legs straight. Just releasing a bit of pressure, tension in the lower back. Okay. Not too hefty. Come back up. And the other side. Exactly the same. Just place your foot well down and then start pushing the leg, the hips forward. So we're not leaning forwards with the body. Try to keep your upper body straight. The other leg a bit further back. There we go. And extending the spine, extending that back leg's hip. Yeah. Flexing the front one as much as you can.
Je moet je knie recht houden.
We can hear you.
I have two coaches now.
Okay, try to pull back. And again, the leg does not have to be straight. Just release the tension in your back. Ease that tension out. Just gently. Up. Keeping the balance and leg back down. Now, I still don't really fit into the picture here, and I'm already with my back against the wall, but we're going to try it anyway. Let's see. Now, I have a nice little chair with several levels, but it should work just with one level as well. We're going to place the leg on the chair, one foot pointing straight forward, the other foot pointing straight up to the ceiling. So it shouldn't be too high, hopefully. If it is, maybe instead of using a chair, you might want to use a bench or something that isn't quite as high. Careful here with the hips. There will be a tendency of the hips to sort of want to turn towards that side leg. So open up here. Trying to keep the pelvis level as well. And this might also happen, so that we're not, we're in an angle. Try to bring it down. Nice and straight. This hand can rest on the knee. The other arm is going to go all the way up. Reach up a bit higher. Yeah. And then flex towards the side. Little bit, not too much. Just enough for it to stretch that part of the adductors and hamstrings. If balance is a problem here, having a wall behind you helps to sort of lean against it. Try it without, but you can always use a little bit of help there from the wall to keep your balance. Don't forget to pull these toes up towards your ear. Point them straight there. And inhale. We come up. And bring the leg down. Now I'll move the chair over to the other side so I can keep facing the screen. And I'll try to do it this way around. Same thing. Yeah. Okay, again. Try to level out the pelvis. If you're pulling it up a little bit, try to press this hip down, keeping it level. That often is enough already to feel it over here. Now, important, both legs or both feet straight. The one you're standing on, pointing straight forwards, and that one straight up. Pull the toes in. Yeah. And bring this arm up. Find a bit of height. And then lean in. There we go. Don't force it too much. Just gently. Little by little, when the spine allows you to go a bit more, you can come a little bit deeper, but overall, just take it easy. Now, inhale up. Bring the leg back in and release the tension. Now, I'm going to do a little bend. So, let's see, enough space here. You can turn the chair around or keep it straight, whichever you want. But we're going to put the hands on the back of the chair and walk a little bit back until your spine is tilted forward. The hips are flexed as much as you can, but without the spine curving. So if you're walking back and you find that you're actually in this pose and you can't get any further, you might have to step a little bit closer and stay more like this. And we want the spine straight. Go as far as you can. If possible, sort of 90 degrees, but a straight spine, not rounded off. The support here of the hands is light. You should try to find that you can do it even without having a real pressure on your hands here. If you can keep your arms up, great. If you need that little bit of support, great. No problem. But don't put your full weight on your hands. Okay. Slowly up a bit. And we're almost in a sort of plank position. We're going to place one foot forward. Both feet pointing straight forward. So also the one from the back leg. Very important that they point exactly straight forward. The hips, same thing. We don't have the hips sort of twisting open. Keep them straight.
Straight.
Yeah. And then the last thing is lean a little bit forward. You can rest your hands still here on the back of the chair or go a level lower on the seat of the chair. If that is still not creating enough tension there, we can always go lower. Get hold of the legs of the chair and go down and down and down in case you want to. Having Christina in mind here, you know how flexible she is, so easy enough to go deeper or stay a little bit higher. All is possible. Okay. Slowly up. Change legs. Make sure again that we're both pointing straight forward. Both feet are on the floor as well. It's not such a big step that the back leg comes up on its heel or so. Nice and straight. And then the pelvis balanced out. Both hips are at the same height and they're pointing straight forward. We lean a little bit forward with a straight back. And you decide how deep you go. Either with your hands on the back of the chair or on the seat, or even with the hands on the legs of the chair. Or all the way down to the ground. That sounds like a struggle. Back, step on in, and release a little bit of tension. Just shake your hips a bit from side to side. Relax. Let me just have a quick look at the time, how we're doing. Yeah, nearly 7. So we're going to slowly work towards the last poses. There is one that I'd like to do, which is a little bit tricky with some people, but I'd like to get it in. Should be possible for you guys. So let's see. We've done a lot of forward work now, but only a little bit for the extension. We're going to try to do a version of wheel pose, but with the chair. It's a bit of a combination. It's not really, probably more tabletop, but hands on the seat of the chair. The legs, well, more or less 90 degrees. You can always step a bit further or less later on. Initially, just push yourself up on your hands and then press a little bit forward. Get into more or less a straight line. Let's try this first of all.
Don't try this at home.
Do try this at home.
I'm doing it.
Now, the shoulders here, try to really pull them back. Try to get those shoulder blades together so you can get your chest up between the shoulders. That's really where that last bit of extra extension comes from. And then see if you can straighten the legs a little bit more as well. Arching all the way up. Pressure on both the arms.
Sorry.
But the trick really is in that little in the shoulders. We'll repeat that once more. First of all, a forward bend. Try to get the shoulders to go close to the knees or even in between them. Rounding the spine off. Yeah. Slowly back up. Let's repeat that once more. So I'll see if I can add a little bit of extra without kicking the Christmas tree straight away to hell. We'll see.
Christmas tree pose.
So, first of all, on your arms, get your buttocks off the chair. And press the pelvis forward. Sort of straighten out the line between your knees and your shoulders. And then try to get those shoulders back. Really pressing the spine up. Now, from here, if you can bring a leg up and kick the star out of the tree.
I don't have a tree.
Or try it the other way. Oh, yeah, that's it. Back down. Pelvis on the chair. And let the floor fold and just relax. Slowly up. Foggy glasses, so must have been hard enough. We are going to prepare for a bit of a breathing session. Now you can do it on the chair or on the floor, whichever you prefer. The chair probably will allow you to keep a little bit of a straighter back. So that's absolutely fine. I think I fit a bit more easily into the picture if I'm actually sitting on the ground. So we'll do it like this. Now, just calm your breathing down first of all. Get that under control. I did get a little toy nearby as I didn't have my singing bowl. I bought something else as a little present for the family.
Whoa.
It's a little hand drum. I can use that later on for the relaxation to mark the time a bit. Now, hopefully your breathing has calmed down a bit, your heart rate's calmed down. Just sit up nice and straight, trying to get the sits bones to really be the point from where we start to work upwards. Yeah. Chin a little bit down. And then focus on your abdomen. Releasing the tension on the inhale. And squeezing the belly button in on the exhale. Just do a few times like this without counting. Allowing the abdomen to expand on the inhale. Pull your belly button in on the exhale. And then slowly try to make that exhale longer. In through the nose and out through the nose. Little by little, start counting. The exhale twice as long as the inhale. Now just take your time, settle down and really focus on the counting. If you're doing 3 seconds inhale, and it should be 6 seconds exhale. Little by little, we're going to try to slow that pace a little bit further down, but in any case, you do not want to get a feeling of getting out of breath. It should always be easy. Going to take 5 to 10 minutes probably to do this. Just get into your own flow here. Personally, I always like to add 1 second or 1 count after inhaling, before exhaling, and the same thing at the end of the exhale, before I start inhaling again. It doesn't have to be straight, one after the other. Have a little pause between the inhale and the exhale. Might get some interruptions and things. Your mind might start to wander. Just try to always bring it back to the counting. Try and focus as much as possible only on the count. Little by little, we're going to bring our breathing back to a normal sort of pace. You can still do a few full in and exhales. And then we'll start to focus on the relaxation. Now, the relaxation as well as the breathing, we can actually do from the chair. Oh, it's already giving me the 10-minute warning again.
Oops.
Yeah.
The cat or the Zoom lady?
We can just about fit that in, I guess. So when you're lying down or sitting, probably a good idea to dim the lights a bit. I'll keep mine on, so at least there's a bit of a clearer picture. Or I could just have the Christmas tree do the work. Might have some screaming kids. They've been very good for the last hour and a bit, but I think it's about time they they find that this class finishes. So, okay, now lie down or sit down. If you decide to sit down, probably best to have your back supported a little bit. So push yourself all the way back into the chair. And then have your spine rested. The chin a little bit forward, but not with a heavy head. Don't let your head hang down. Keep it a bit balanced. If you're lying down, just make sure that the pelvis is a little bit tilted back. That your legs are straight and relaxed. That the spine is well supported and neck straight. Again, the chin a little bit tucked in, but not too much. Try to just find one thing to focus on. It can be your breath again. It can be one image. Something you like to do. It can be an area that you'd like to be in. Just create that one image in your mind and focus on that. So we're going to bring some attention back to our everyday life. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And if you're still sitting, just maintain your posture. If you were lying down, come to a seated pose. And we're just going to close the class off with 3 times Aum. And then I hope you have enjoyed a bit of a different experience. We'll be back next week as normal. And then start January the 11th. I'll be back for the normal classes at 6 o'clock on the Wednesday. Now, sit up nice and straight. A few deep breaths in and out. And after the next inhale, 3 times Aum, and we might not make it all the way, but if not, then Namaste already.
Feliz Navidad.
Happy Christmas or happy festive holiday season, whichever you want to call it.
Exactly.